Hi, I'm Rick Conlow. Welcome to the Power of Servant Leadership. We've been talking about servant leadership and its impact on organizations. It's leading a revolution in leadership thought and practice because of the need, because of issues in organizations and toxic workplaces. So I invite you to stick with us and join this adventure. So I've got two quotes here I just want to briefly share with you because they highlight the characteristics of servant leaders. First one says, if you choose between being kind and right, choose being kind and you'll always be right. I like that one. And the other one says, help is a very expensive gift, so don't expect it from everyone because few people are rich by heart. So kindness and helpfulness are a part of servant leadership, and yes, it can be a part of business. Now, the reason is there seems to be no trust in organization or a lack of it, and which leads to low employee engagement. I don't know if you've heard the statistics or not, but 85% of people worldwide are disengaged in work. Think of the lack of impact these people have, the potential that's being wasted by the organizations and the people themselves. Leadership trust is not gained by edict, top-down control, and power, a kind of an approach to a leadership which many organizations still have, in spite of the fact that there's more leadership books written today than ever before, and the resources to be more effective in what you do are there, but they're not being used, they're not being applied, because people desire, well, power, influence, and they're greedy, they want more, they don't want to share it. You earn effective employee engagement, productivity, and motivation, building a positive workplace by integrity and example. So there are two major ways to be a leader. One is through position power. That means it's kind of a top-down approach to working with people, and its employees are subordinate. You have to do what the leader says. You communicate through confrontation and often fear. Maybe some of this is ringing bells if you've been in organizations like that. The leader has all the answers, or at least most of the answers. It's done through controlling, through intimidation and analytics today. Data analytics is used so much. And the goal is often wealth, power, pleasure, winning. That's what the leaders are after. Helping the shareholders, not helping the employees, or making this a better world. The other way is through personal power, and this leads to servant leadership. The approach is a communication, positive communication approach. Employees are partners, not resources. They're partners to help build something positive that makes this a better place to live. It's do as I do also, so leading by example. You've got an organization of engagement and teamwork. Hopefully you've worked in a place like that before. There's a different feel to it. You want to come to work. It's not a have to come to work like in the traditional approach. And influencing is done through listening and collaborating and understanding and empathizing and working with people. The goal is helpfulness. The goal is responsibility. The goal is social justice even. The goal is compassion and caring. Wow, how that contrasts with the other. Now, it's about sharing the wealth, sharing the opportunity, reaching the potential of everyone, not just a select few. That's what we're talking about. A servant leader walks the talk on personal power in terms of how they engage people. People want to follow you when you're a servant leader because you want them to win. You have their best interest in mind, like your own. It doesn't mean you don't want you want an organization to fail, or you don't want the organization to be profitable, but you want to share it. You want others to be in on it, and you want others to succeed and achieve their goals as well. Ken Blanchard, servant leader, says this: to me, servant leadership is the only way to guarantee great relationships and great results. Wow, isn't that nice? You want both. You want people to feel good about what they do, empowered, that it's fulfilling and it's worthwhile, and you want the organization to be profitable and to grow. Wow, why can't we have that? That's what the servant leader begins asking and then begins working on. Robert Greenleaf, the pioneer of servant leadership in business, said this: servant leaders believe my success comes from your success. In other words, if the team succeeds, the leader succeeds. That's what we need more in organizations. That's what's missing. Now, there are 5 behaviors to consider to be able to do this. One is you got to do business with character. Okay. Second, you got to care about people. Third, you communicate positively, not negatively. It's the number one issue that comes up in employee engagement surveys everywhere is we don't communicate around here. I just did a couple of these, and these are good organizations, yet communication comes up. There's always room for listening. There's always room for empathizing. There's always room for asking more questions, as opposed to giving the answers and dictating things. So positive communication, a dialogue, not a monologue. Then it's commitment to people. It's a commitment to help them develop. So it's the coaching, it's the training, it's the delegating, it's the empowering, it's the team building that matters here. Then it's consistency. You know, everybody can talk a good game and say, I believe in people, I want to help them. And then they do it today, but they don't do it tomorrow or the next day because they're too busy. They got too many things going on, right? They forget about the people because they got the meetings and the procedures and the analytics and the business reports and the boards and the shareholders to be considered about. And people are put over here off to the side. So it's following up, following through, walking the talk, talking the walk, getting it done. Those are the behaviors. Now, there are some characteristics, and these we've built over time, and they're a compilation from Greenleaf, Blanchard, and Maxwell. Honestly, you do business that way. Again, it's about character and integrity and ethics, competence. You're a student of game. You keep learning just like you want your team to keep learning. You have vision. We got a goal. Got a goal to build the business that makes a difference in this world. Stronger people, stronger employees, stronger customers, stronger communities, that kind of thing. Where are we going? That's what the vision is. And you share that. You get people involved in it. It's inspiration. The inspiration doesn't come from motivational speeches, although occasionally those things are done, but it comes from the work we do together and how we do it together. It's about the relationship, not reporting structures. We build people up. We don't tear them down. That inspires people. It's about the heart, the unseen part of people. It's what drives people. What are their motivations? What are their desires? What are their dreams? And we talk about that, and we coach them, and we help them get that. So we lead that way from the heart, and we're vulnerable ourselves. It's about humility. When you make a mistake, you own it. You don't blame the people, and when you succeed, you give the team credit. That inspires. That builds collaboration. That builds high performance. And so we're humble. And then we lead by example. How do we know we're leading by example? We're honest, we're competent, we have a vision, we inspire, we have a heart, we deal with the spirit of people, we're humble. That's leading by example. So we do that and other things. This is going to cover everything, but these are some main characteristics to consider when you consider servant leadership. Clarence Francis years ago built a big business, and he said this: you can buy a person's time, you can buy a person's physical presence at a given place. You can even buy a measured number of skilled muscular motions per hour on any day, but you cannot buy enthusiasm. You cannot buy initiative. You cannot buy loyalty. You cannot buy devotion of hearts, soul, and minds. You have to earn these things. That's what we're talking about. That's what servant leaders do. And when you do, people go out of their way to perform better and better. They want to win. They want the company to win. They want you to win because they're winning. Do you see what I'm getting at? Now, does this impact results? Sure it does. Corsair in 2019 studied Good to Great Companies, written by Jim Collins, his landmark best-selling book, and compared servant leadership companies to them. And bottom line, they found over a 10-year period, servant leadership companies outperform good to great companies by 8 times. In other words, there's a payoff for being a servant leader. First, people win. they succeed. They feel better about what they're doing. Second, you make a difference in the world and make it a better place. And third, the company's more successful and profitable. Servant leadership focus on people over profit. In organizational excellence and higher profits are achieved. So a manager has a title, but a leader, a servant leader, has the team. Thank you for coming, and I wish you the best of success.